Hi there and welcome to Xbox On. So I recently got some hands-on time with Agents of Mayhem, the new open-world action game from Volition. They're the team behind Saints Row and Red Faction, so they know a thing or two about blowing stuff up with a collection of ludicrously big weapons. And I loved what I played. From the huge range of agents to choose from and the even larger selection of moves and attacks, there's a real sense of variety and fun blended with the serious business of taking down enemy scum. So for all those out there who are looking for a new world to plunge into, here are 5 things you're going to love about Agents of Mayhem. Now, to start things off, Agents of Mayhem is linked to Saints Row in more ways than just the developer. The game is actually a direct spin-off from the Saints Row series, taking place after the Recreate Earth ending of the Saints Row 4 expansion, Get Out of Hell. In case you're wondering, Get Out of Hell saw the Saints being dragged to hell after a nasty run-in with Satan. After plenty of ridiculous flying, using weapons that are inspired by the 7 deadly sins, and teaming up to kick ass with William Shakespeare, Johnny Gat is given a choice by God which can lead to 5 different endings. If you choose the option to recreate Earth, you'll see a cutscene which shows the Saints as detectives as they discuss trying to take down baddie Brimstone. And guess what? Agents of Mayhem is set in this recreated world. Brimstone is the founder of Mayhem and the big boss of all the agents. One of the coolest features for people who played the Saints games has to be the inclusion of the badass that is Johnny Gat as a playable character in the game. Staying true to the Get Out of Hell ending, he's a detective with a fondness for guns and shooting the hell out of people. Agents of Mayhem itself is based around the organisation Mayhem, founded by Brimstone and funded by Ultor Corporation, who was one of the main antagonists from Saints Row 2 and the Red Faction series. Of course, that's not the only way in which these games have a link. You'll see other hints throughout. The snazzy purple colour theme that Saints Row is famous for is carried on to Agents of Mayhem, making it instantly recognisable, along with the Mayhem sporting the same fleur-de-lis logo that the Saints wear. It's a cool way of throwing back to the series without being a direct sequel. For me, the coolest thing about Agents of Mayhem has to be the huge roster of characters that you're offered and the options to switch between them with a quick press of a button. So to explain things a bit, the bad guys of the game, Legion, have done a nasty old global attack. Brimstone founded the organisation Mayhem, which is a bunch of uniquely skilled agents from all over the world, so they can come together and take down Legion. These agents comprise of 12 characters, each with their own skills and superpowers. During my playthrough, I got hands-on with 4 characters: Fortune, Rama, Hardtack, and Hollywood. Fortune is a sky pirate who specialises in hacking. This is especially useful in missions that require the hacking of Legion's machines. Her speciality weapon is dual energy pistols, yet she's still better used in short range. She's super quick, so if your playstyle is more like a 12-year-old after 5 cans of energy drinks, then she is perfect for you. Rama is a character I unlocked by following a story mission, which is how you'll be unlocking most extra agents. Rama faced trouble in her homeland and was brought into Mayhem on the promise that she would help eradicate Legion whilst also getting help for back home. She specialises in using a bow and arrow, so if precise long-range attacks are more of your sneaky style, then she's perfect for you. Hardtack is more of a heavy tank character, moving slower yet dealing massive amounts of damage with his beast of a gun. Hollywood is the all-action hero, joining Mayhem after a career in reality TV acting. Due to his good looks, he's the face of Mayhem, but he's not just a pretty boy. His assault rifle makes him a good all-rounder, dealing best with mid-range combat. Of course, there's a ridiculous amount of characters I didn't get to play as who you'll get to see more of this August. For example, there's Redcard, who's a soccer hooligan who has a love for comboing assault rifles and shotguns. Or there's Oni, who is a Yakuza hitman who, due to his sneaky career, uses a silenced pistol to vanquish his foes. Or maybe you'll prefer to play as Daisy, a roller derby champion who skates from A to B with a minigun nestled nicely in her hands. With plenty of other characters on offer too, there'll be characters for everyone to connect to and find a playstyle that suits them. Each time you go on a mission, you'll have a choice of 3 characters to take with you, which helps you plan for whatever that particular mission may be. If there's hacking involved, you'll need to take someone good at tech. For stealthy missions, a bow and arrow or a silenced pistol wouldn't go amiss. And for all-out war, why not chuck some grenades and then mop up the leftovers with a minigun? That brutal choice is all yours. Of course, with such a massive selection of heroes comes an even bigger selection of powers. Each agent has a special move meter which fills up over time during battle, which then allows them to unleash a huge special attack on their foe. With Fortune, she has a droid named Glory that she can send out on a stunning spree, allowing you to wipe out a large number of enemies very quickly. Her gadget attacks are based more on energy blasts, with power ranging from slowing enemies down to blasts that deal huge amounts of damage. Hardtack has a love for all things explosives, so his special attack attack allows him to send out explosive mines in every direction. Useful for you, awful for everyone around you. His gadget attack is a harpoon, which allows him to teleport to other areas and to drag enemies closer towards him. Rama's special attack is Plague Arrow, a move which allows her to rain down poisoned arrows onto her enemies. She also has the nifty skill of being able to go invisible for a short time, which is super useful when you're trying to shake off a large group of baddies. Just enter stealth mode, run away out of sight, and then return to your fully formed self. Your enemies will be baffled and you'll have the upper hand in battle. Hollywood's Mayhem ability is called Action Hero, which is basically a Michael Bay movie in the form of a special attack. Hollywood will don a pair of shades and start peppering his enemies with bottomless ammo and a whole bunch of unnecessary background explosions. It's ridiculous, but oh so satisfying. It's not only battle too. Some characters will be able to climb up building walls like Hardtack can, while other characters can do triple jumps or can glide. It really feels like each character has its own unique selling point. The best thing about their abilities is the fact that you can seamlessly switch between them to make full use of each character's unique skills. You could shoot off an arrow with Rama, change over to Fortune to quickly get close to your enemy before making quick work by using Hardtack for the brutal killing blow. Mastering this mechanic can take a while as you get used to it, as you learn each character's style and strong points, but once you get it down, it's super satisfying. Of course, characters and attacks are good and all, but what about the setting and style of the game? For any open world adventure, you really need a strong background to bring the story to life. Agents of Mayhem is set in the high-tech city of Seoul in South Korea. Legion hits Seoul pretty hard, causing a lot of trouble and devastation. The city is still repairing itself, aspiring to be the center of technology for the entire world, and it really shows as you make your way around it. The entire city is neon and high-tech, with an almost Tron-like feel to it. The car movements are slick and smooth, aiding to the feel of a robotic world. The art style has a cartoony look to it with a cel-shaded vibe, and the cutscenes are told in anime art, which fits perfectly with the whole superhero-esque vibe. Wandering through the futuristic Seoul, it does feel quite sterile, but that actually really helps the action stand out. When you suddenly add the ridiculous agents and their enemies to these clean streets, the action brings the whole place to life, even though technically it's trying to bring the whole place to death. It's pretty cool calling for a car and then having it zoom up next to you, ready to jump in and cruise around the futuristic playground. You may not be able to do crazy high jumps and the such like in Saints Row 4, but climbing up buildings and taking in the sights in a less bizarre fashion is still a whole lot of fun. Good news for anyone who's planning on getting their mitts on an Xbox One X. Agents of Mayhem will have an improved performance on the brand new console. For starters, it will feature high dynamic range lighting, the technique that makes colors seem even brighter when you play it on an HDR enabled TV. Considering this is a game all about bold comic book action, it is going to look incredible when you use this tech. But Xbox One X offers much more than this. Agents of Mayhem is all about exploring the busy, living city of Seoul, and on the Xbox One X, it's set to see an increase in population, civilians, and vehicles, creating more busy, dense, and exciting city. Rather than just an increase in its visuals, which of course will look amazing on the X, it's a case of actually bringing an improvement to the core of the game, its environment, and the area that you can explore to your heart's content. Plus, it's going to be extra exciting exploring Agents of Mayhem, a brand new IP, on your brand new shiny Xbox One X. Let us know in the comments below if you're planning on picking up an Xbox One X and what games you'll be most looking forward to in all its glorious 4K glory. And there we have it, 5 things you're going to love about Agents of Mayhem. Let us know in the comments below if you're going to be picking up Agents of Mayhem on the 18th of August and what agent you're most looking forward to playing as. We're going to be taking a deeper look at the game in the run-up to the release, so make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the game. Remember to smash that like button too if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!